Today we're going to be interviewing a Dogecoin kid, Lisa from Up Worldwide. And today we have the beautiful Miss from Crypto here tonight with us. Today we have Ken Bozak.
Foundation, Rarible, OpenSea, and and Charged Particles.
Speaking from a Gen Z's perspective.
So why do these people buy this
collection? I work with an artist out of...
Wait till you see my other... Hey everyone, welcome to Yummy NFTs. I'm your host, City Girl, and tonight we have an entertaining NFT topic to discuss. But first, a couple of interesting news bits about NFTs. Let's start with the big news. Tomorrow, Ethereum 2.0 starts its rollout. So this has been so talked about this year and really anticipated, and this merge is going to have a huge impact. I mean, first, they're moving from proof of work to proof of stake, which is actually going to do a few things. It's going to allow the blockchain to run faster, and it's also going to cut back on a lot of the environmental impact that everybody has been complaining about with Ethereum. So this is going to be a very positive move. It's going to start rolling out tomorrow. Hopefully, it's going to go smoothly, and we'll be having some very positive feedback in the near future. Let's also talk about the fact that coffee mogul Starbucks is rolling out an NFT rewards program for their loyalty customers. They're going to have stamps that can be purchased, stamps that can be traded and collected, and they'll be able to be sold on an NFT marketplace. The project is called Starbucks Odyssey, and it's actually trying to a part of a bigger project with Starbucks to move the company into Web3 and into the future. And actually, the Starbucks rewards program is very versatile in that people who are taking part in it do not have to actually understand crypto. They don't have to understand NFTs. They don't have to have a crypto wallet. They just need to participate, and they can start in on the base level and actually learn more about NFTs through this program. Another big piece of news is that down in Miami for Art Week, Basel has announced Crypto Art for Impact Innovation Challenge. So basically, they're going to have a competition between now and November 1st to get some artwork displayed down in Miami. It's a global call to action. It's asking artists to submit artwork that represents innovative technology while showcasing an impact on selected categories. So Bitbasel is a proud supporter of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, and they're trying to get more people involved in that. So each artist has to use one of those goals as the framework for their artwork to submit. And the challenge is actually supposed to educate how blockchain and Web3 can be implemented into the modern world to bridge the gap between art and technology and still, making resources available to diverse populations. Actually going to the winners will get to showcase their artwork on there, and they're actually planning, in addition to some prizes, they're committed to selling over $17 million worth of artwork through this program on the NFT marketplace. Kudos to them for moving everything forward down in Miami Art Week. So now let's talk to our guest tonight. If we could all throw some hearts up for Apex, who is the co-founder of Juice Team. Everybody, welcome Apex.
Hey, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on tonight. We appreciate it. So tell us a little bit. Juice Team is a Web3 gaming group. I'm assuming that you've been somewhat of a gamer since childhood, and explain to us about the actual organization.
Yeah, so the Juice Team itself is a gaming organization, just like any other gaming team that you know of in Web 2, right? So you have like your Face Clan, your Optics, and that kind of thing, TSM. And that's exactly who we are right now, but with Web3 elements. And right now we're focused on the Web3 elements themselves because, right, the fact of the matter is that you have a lot of organizations in Web3 right now who are, their prime directive is to be esports, but this space is not ready for that yet. So right now we're just complementing what it is that the market in Web3 actually needs and how it is that we can help it grow, right? So the real narrative here for the Juice Gaming team is to provide, like the gaming, entertainment, content, and educational to basically keep the people who are here now basically engaged and educated on what's going on because this space moves really, really fast. and also a friendly and inviting community for anybody who's new and doesn't really know about blockchain gaming.
So we've had a lot of people on the show here, mostly artists, graphic design, musical, and we talked a bit about investments and stuff. But explain to the audience how gaming actually ties in with NFTs.
Yeah, so anybody who's an actual like gamer who really plays games would really understand the NFT concept within like at its core, right? So if you play games like Valorant, for example, you're a player who basically you can customize your character through skins, like weapon skins. So imagine you're in Valorant right now, and that's all you play, and you're purchasing skins, but you're not really purchasing them. You don't own them. It's just a license. So if your account gets banned, you're gonna lose those skins forever. I mean, they're not actually yours. You're just basically paying to rent them versus if you were to actually purchase them as an NFT, then that skin you do own and you're able to trade it with other players and sell it. So if you have like a Reaver skin Vandal, for example, and there's only 5,000 of them, that skin could be worth thousands of dollars because the players themselves value them. Even right now, right? Like people actually know and they want to own things because I still play Valorant sometimes, like because there's not a lot of games to play right now in Web3. But you have players when you start around, they're like, hey man, can you drop your gun because I want to use your skin. Like people want skins, they want stuff, right? And if people had a way to actually own these things, I think they would be more inclined to purchase them. So it's basically like it's a natural way of integrating ownership to the time that you put in and the money that you pay to basically use these skins and weapons and what have you.
Okay, so let's talk about some of the technical stuff. You promote on Wax, and why Wax? And explain to us a little bit about the GameStop wallet.
The GameStop wallet.
I saw that was listed on your page. There was some information on using GameStop wallet.
Yeah, so Wax basically we started the Juice Gaming team like around February, March. And then a few weeks into that, Wax reached out for a partnership. So we partnered with them. We have a pretty good relationship with them. It's just because we're sponsored with them doesn't mean that we show, right? That's not the purpose of the Juice Gaming team. We have like a lot of games that reach out and they say, hey man, can you guys give me the prices to show our game? We're like, sorry, we don't do that. Delete email. Like the purpose here is to basically just push and let people know about what is here and push the things that we believe, have potential long term. And Wax is one of the basically the blockchain that we know will make it, right? Like they have their studio, their gaming studio that they're working on. Right now, their only product is blockchain brawlers that they have that they're actually building under the studio that we know of. But yeah, right now it's just kind of like we're powered by Wax, right? They're supporting us and we support them in return. As far as the GameStop wallet, I think that was probably something that we put out on the Juice News, which is another venture that we just launched under the Juice team. And the Juice Gaming Teams within itself is another vertical, right? So since the Juice team is a content creation team, we have the creator, right, Cagyjan, who I co-founded the Juice team with, and then we're also incubating small content creators under the Juice team itself. But we thought it was a good idea to launch another vertical of content, which is the written side of it, right? So we started Juice News, and the first phase of this right now is essentially to create a Twitter account, which we did. Actually, we launched this 2 weeks ago. And this is digestible small bite news. So if you go into Juice News right now on Twitter, you'll see just like a one sentence headline and then an image that complements that news, right? So you don't have to actually put a lot of time into understanding what's going on. You just pop in here, follow it, and you'll see this in your timeline and you'll know exactly what's going on in the space. And then the next phase into that is actually going into building, right, like long articles, like your traditional articles that you see like on CNN, that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's probably where you saw the GameStop thing. But that's what we're doing right now in terms of the news and all that.
And on that page, also, I did see Juice Space. Is that kind of like interviews that you're doing with certain people?
Yeah, actually that's a good point. Yeah, we're doing a lot under the Juice team right now. We've committed to doing things on a weekly basis. So one of the other things that we're doing is our Juice spaces, which are essentially just Twitter spaces, and we invite gaming leaders, founders, Like we invited Carlos from Elixir, who founded the Elixir launcher, which is just like Steam but for Web3. We invited founders from other games as well, and we do this every week. So yeah, Juice Spaces every Saturdays we do that, and then we've started this segment called community and all the communities to come and play games with us, and we give out rewards during the games. So we play like games like Blancos or Light Night, whatever it is. We have people play, and then whoever wins, we'll do like little challenges during the live stream, and we'll just give out rewards to the winners or whoever got the most kills and things like that. So we're just finding ways to like socialize with our community and like get them engaged together, not just with us, but together and play games, right?
Now, these rewards, are they cash or are they, NFTs? How are the rewards given out?
Yeah, so for game day, we give out rewards in stablecoin and NFTs. It's a mix of them. And then before we started doing game days, we were actually doing tournaments. So that's something that we're going to reinitiate, right? Because we found that most people right now just want to have fun. They don't actually want to go into a bracket and compete and take it too seriously, right? So we decided to do game days instead because they're just more fun and social. And then later on, we'll add in like weekly tournaments that are actually like bracket based, like more serious. But yeah, right now just stable coins and NFTs are the prizes.
Now, NFTs, when they're given out for in gaming, they have utility built into them sometimes.
Yeah, so sometimes they do have utility built behind them. Like if you take Forge Arena, for example, which is one of the FPS games that I play on Web3, some of the utilities that they have right now are if you own a skin, you can actually play the game itself, right? And sometimes, you have games that charge you like extraordinary amounts to access the game itself, and they're not even full released, right? Like there are games out there you have to pay like $200 to actually play the game itself, and it doesn't make any sense. It's not even full release. Like what if I don't want to play the game long term? But this one, it's like Forge Arena. You buy like a $1 skin, you can play the game, and then you can rock that skin in the game itself. And then you have other games also where say you play something like an MMO and you can buy a land, and that land is an NFT. Then you can use that land and farm it, and it's yours, and you can limit it to who you want to have access to that, right? So if the Juice team has a land, then we can invite our players, our community, to actually use that land and govern it as well. And that's my NFT. That's my land, and I can actually sell it or do whatever it is that I want to do with it, right? Trade it, whatever it is. So yeah, sometimes they do have utility. It's basically you can take any game where you own an item, and that's exactly what an NFT is, but it's yours and verifiable on the blockchain, and it's under your wallet, and you have full control of it.
Okay. And so when we think about NFTs in general, most of the time we hear about, the creators of the NFTs. Are the creators of these NFTs the actual, gaming creators, or are these people who actually create NFTs and donate them into the games to be given out like this?
For the games themselves, it's pretty much always the creators of the games themselves. You have some games where the community can make NFTs under approval of the game itself. Haven't seen that a lot personally, but one example of it would be Sunflower Land, which is like a farming game. They had like little contests where communities can kind of like design their own, like a little gnome, like somebody made a gnome that you can put in front of your farm, and it's just a display NFT, but you can actually own it. And I think eventually it'll have utility. So just because an NFT doesn't have utility now doesn't mean that it can't have one later on.
Okay, so it's expandable. And do you personally have, you're obviously playing these games and everything. Do you have a fair collection of NFTs within the gaming?
Yeah, I have some NFTs. I have a whole bunch of NFTs like dispersed across different wallets. I collected way too many NFTs at some point, and have kind of like been dropping them because cash is king here, right? And we're in a bear market, so we gotta sell a little bit to kind of accumulate later on, right? But anyway, yeah, I have some NFTs for different games. Some of them it would be like um, I have some lands for Ember Sword. I have skins for the Forge Arena. I have some skins for Chronos. I have a whole bunch of skins. And I'm just waiting for these games to come out so I can actually rock these skins in the games.
Okay. And for anybody who's, here and maybe not familiar with this type of gaming, like how can they find these opportunities so that they can get involved or maybe join in and play with everyone?
Yeah. So for anybody who wants to join in on different games and learn more, I think joining organizations like the Juice Team, following creators that you guys like and trust and believe in, that are exclusive to blockchain gaming, then those are the people that you watch and you learn about and join their communities and talk to the other participants of those communities. And I think that's the best way to do it. Just connecting with everybody else who's in the space, and it'll help you learn a lot more about what's going on, in a much more genuine way, right? Versus just kind of like, there are some YouTubers out there right now in Web3 that mostly like just push tokens, for example, and they're, that's one thing that's cool, but when you go and follow somebody who is genuine in the space itself and who actually just is here in the trenches all day, every day, then that's the best way to actually get deep into this and understand the differences between all of these different games and what they have to offer. Because the fact of the matter right now is that there are so many freaking games right now, and they're not all going to survive. So you have to be deep in the trenches to understand what is going on so you can make educated decisions and basically understand everything that's going on at its core.
Okay, so for people who are obviously going to be more newbies on this, would you say Discord's a good place to start looking?
Yeah, like joining communities like Discord would be the best place. I think the best place, and this is how I started. I started with crypto Twitter, and I made my way into basically blockchain gaming. So Twitter is the best place to actually start. Just if if you don't want to flood your account with crypto, make a new account, follow different organizations, creators, follow different tokens, and then you'll basically just naturally get pushed into really, really deep in here, and you'll get a deep understanding of what's going on. And then through there, you can just kind of transition into Discord, right? Like once you find a community that you like, join their Discord, talk to the people, see what's going on, and it'll help you kind of like figure out what it is that you should be looking at in the space.
What do you see as the future of gaming and NFTs tied together? Like where do you think that it can go from here? In addition to just just getting skins and usable items in the games, do you see a bigger future with this?
Um, yeah, I mean, there's a lot that can happen. Personally, right now, the only thing that I'm worried about right now is just having games that are scalable long term. And there are games out there who are trying to build some crazy stuff, and there's space for this, where there are games where like they want to create crazy tokenomics and like dumping features and buybacks and all this stuff. And this is an economy, and economies, there is no perfect economy, not even in the real world. Even governments haven't been able to build an economy that's sustainable and that actually works. And here you have games where are building some crazy stuff, and that's just not going to work. So for me right now, I'm more worried about just taking the games that we have in Web 2 right now and building something that works for them, and take those elements and put them in here, and then give ownership to the players. That's basically like the prime directive right now, right? Create fun games and give ownership to the players and reward them for the time that they put in here every freaking day, right? Because I used to play Call of Duty and like all these different games like 12 hours a day competitively, and that was fun and everything. But if I had NFTs, like that would have changed the game for me, right? Like I used to put in a lot of time.
And do you see this as something that could be financially stable for people down the road?
Um, Yes and no. I would say no because not every game should be, for the same reason that I was talking to you about the tokenomics. I don't think that should be like the main worry, because if it is, and you have games that just crash eventually, like these, making a living off of a game itself is not sustainable for anyone. I mean, that just doesn't make any sense. There's no logic there.
Limited monetization, of course.
Yeah, exactly. But I do think there is a market for playing games where, like, if you have an MMO and you really, really grind the game, and you earn this really cool sword, and you put months into this sword and you level it up, then there's a market for upgrading that sword as an NFT and then selling it to another player for a few $100s or a couple $1,000s, right? Depending on the rarity of the skin itself. So Yes, because you can put time into it, and maybe make a few bucks, but not necessarily do it day in and day out and just live like a lavish life or something like that. It also depends where you live in the world, right? Like if you live in the US, then good luck, man. I mean, the US is freaking expensive to live in, but if you live, in a smaller country, then you could probably get by.
So,
Yeah, right now the Juice team is my life, basically. Whenever I actually met Caggy back in 2020. If whoever doesn't know Caggy, he's like an OG content creator in the space. I met Caggy in 2020 as a viewer. It was kind of weird how I met him. We were playing this game, and I was asking in the stream like, "Hey man, what NFTs should I buy for this game?" And he said, "Hey, you should buy this sword." And he was like, "You know what? I'm gonna buy these swords." And then I was like, "Fuck, he's gonna buy them." So I actually friend ran him and bought the swords. And then he was like trying to buy them. He was like, "What the fuck? Like somebody bought these swords." And I was like, "Oh, sorry, it was me. I'll give them back to you, or I'll sell them to you for the same price that I paid for them." And he was like, "Nah, don't worry about it." And we just started talking from there. And actually, earlier this year, I was working for a an accounting software company as a doing a business intelligence for them. And I kind of like commented that to Kagi before. And I was actually on vacation in Disney World, and he hit me up and he was like, "Hey man, like I want to start this organization. Like, are you in?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, I'm in." And the day that I came back from vacation, I actually just gave my week notice to my job just to do this. So I just cold turkey quit everything just to do this because I knew that I've always wanted to start a gaming organization or be part of gaming one way or another. And this is like the golden opportunity to make that happen. So the Juice team right now is basically my life. I do this every day.
incredible. I mean, it's one thing to, quit your job for a better opportunity, but you quit it for a better opportunity and to follow your dreams. So that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, you got to have conviction in what you do because I've been, I wouldn't say I've been like job hopping my whole life, but I've been trying to basically pick up skills here and there and just advance over and over. And everything that I've been doing before just has led up to this point, and it's like all the skills that I learned are useful. So I'm just trying to basically apply this. Everything that is like behind closed doors in the Juice team, basically anything that is not content creation that you don't see on YouTube or Twitter, like I handle all that stuff. So this is what I do every day.
Love it. So we're going to open up the floor for the audience to ask you questions. I'd like to remind everyone that if you have missed any of our episodes or you'd like to see this episode again, you can see it on our YouTube channel. And also, if you look over here, you can receive a free NFT PO app if you DM us on our Instagram. We'll send that out to you tomorrow. It's just commemorative from this episode. And I'm going to open up the floor for questions. If you look down on your right-hand side, you'll see the raise hand feature there. You can click on that. Also, if you could take a moment to rate the event, you can click in there. We strive for 5 to keep the event alive. And if we have any questions, we'll take them now.
Don't be shy.
We have a question from Creativist.
I just wanted to hear more about what your next steps are and what you're thinking for the future.
Yeah, that's a good question. We have a lot going on now behind the scenes. Basically, like if you take the Juice team itself, I think we have, you have different organizations, guilds, and then you have, different news platforms, and then you have also esports organizations within Web3. We're basically a conglomerate of all that, and right now we are focused on basically putting everything under a platform right now. The specifics of that right now are really like deep hidden right now. Like nobody really knows about it except our partners. But there's a lot going on where we're actually going to involve our viewers and our audience and our community at a deeper level, more than just being like a viewer who watches the YouTube videos or just reads the news. What that actually means is that you'll be integrated into the space at a deeper level. That's really all I can say right now, but I'm actually ecstatic about releasing this. I mean, I have extreme anxiety because we're working on it every day, and I just want to get it out. But right now, we're just focused on building the platform and the base of it, so that it's ready to launch, and then tell more about it.
And we have a question from Metaday.
Hi. My question is, from the beginning of your journey until where you are at now, what would be your 3 lessons learned if you had the opportunity to rethink on the pathway that you took thus far?
3 lessons learned that would help me in my journey right now.
Yes.
I've been pretty grateful that I've had a lot of guidance since the beginning of my life. Like I've had a lot of mentors and a lot of family who have offered a lot of guidance in everything that I've been doing. Some of the things that I would say to definitely take into consideration is patience. Be a great listener. If you have people who are experts at something, don't be somebody don't be a know-it-all, basically, right? Just take in information and ask questions. Those are some of the things that are going to take you far. Because we only live for a certain amount of time. We only have so much time in a day and so much energy. Take those experiences that you won't be able to take personally from everybody else who you're connected to. So there's just some things that I've done, right, that have basically gotten me to where I am today.
Okay.
Definitely would recommend to take those steps for anybody else too.
Do we have any other questions? Okay, well, we'd like to thank everyone for coming out tonight, especially Apex. Thank you for being here and teaching us a little bit about the gaming community. It's not something we hear a lot of on here, so this has been really interesting. And we'd like to thank all of you for coming out and joining us tonight and every Tuesday night. If you'd like to come up on stage and, oh wait, we do have another question. Let's see. Hit the raise hand button, please. There we go.
All right.
Okay, go ahead.
My question is, what is your favorite NFT you've ever purchased? And how do you see the gaming community, two-parter, how do you see the gaming community really expanding in the next couple of years with the power of blockchain NFTs?
Yeah, my favorite NFT right now. I'm a simple dude, man. I come from just FPS games like Call of Duty and Valorant and those games. I really freaking like my Forge Arena skins. I really do. I have like some skins that are animated in like some other games and stuff, and the Forge Arena has animated skins, and I have like my gold AK-47 and the game itself too. So it's kind of cool. That would probably be my favorite purchase, even though it's probably like the cheapest one. I've purchased some crazy PFPs for like extraordinary prices, and I'm just like, why do I have this? I'd rather have a freaking $1 skin in the Forge Arena. But the space itself, what's coming next? Right now, the number one question in the space that everyone's asking is how do we onboard Web 2 gamers into Web 3? And I think the next move for that is going to be making it accessible for Web 2 gamers itself. I mean, asking players to create a MetaMask account before they can actually install and play the game is crazy. So we need a way of basically, I don't know what the real answer is here. Maybe it could be like a custodial wallet where you can sign up and make an account for a game and make a sign-in just like any other game right now on Web 2. And you can earn NFTs and then maybe just make it custodial where if you're in the game and you earn a skin, it'll throw it in that custodial wallet. And if you ever want to claim it, then it'll walk you through the process of creating a MetaMask account or whatever to actually claim those NFTs. So I think that's the next major step, right? Like removing the barriers that we put on ourselves to bring in other players. And like I was telling you earlier, we have games right now where they tell you like you got to buy a $200 NFT to try the game, and that's crazy. It's like they're crying that they want players, but at the same time, they want somebody to pay $200 for this game that's not even in alpha yet. Like that's insane. So just making it accessible right now for everybody is the move, and that should be the thing that the space itself should focus on right now.
Any other questions?
That was a good question, by the way. Thank you.
It was.
I think that's all the questions.
Cool.
I'd like to get everyone to come up onto the stage so we could take a group shot with Apex.
Where's everybody from, by the way? Is everybody like a community, the part of the community, like for you guys, or?
Hold on one second. Just gonna drop the stage blocker. I think you mean location wise, or you mean
Yeah.
here?
Yeah, how did you guys hear about this space? Like, do you guys usually participate in the Yummy NFT events, or?
A lot of these people are regulars every week.
Nice, cool.
Yeah.
You guys have a cool community.
First time here. It's awesome.
Mofo's here every week,
Yeah, my first time here as well.
and we have Sherwin. Sherwin's here every week.
And are you guys all wearing headsets, VR headsets? Because I'm not.
I am.
You are? Nice.
Some people are here on computer too. Jerome's on computer, and I think maybe Dr. Rail might be on
Rail.
computer right now. Yeah.